Welcome back to Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. Today we have a very special guest joining us. He's not just a powerhouse in the ring, but he's also a talented author and a captivating podcaster. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one half of the reigning Crossroads Tag Team Champions, the Savage Brotherhood, the one and only Big Daddy Storm.
Alongside his partner, Brody Hawk, Big Daddy Storm has taken the wrestling world by storm, dominating the tag team division with their unmatched ferocity and cunning tactics. Get ready for an electrifying interview as we dive into the mind of this wrestling legend.
Joining us today, as I promised, is Big Daddy Storm. Thank you for being here today, Big Daddy.
What's up, guys?
Hello,
Big Daddy Storm, you've made quite a name for yourself in the wrestling world. Tell us what inspired you to get into professional wrestling and how your journey began.
Oh, look, growing up, I'm from Texas. All right? Everything's bigger and badder in Texas, and that's the damn truth. And it was no different for wrestling back in the day. The Von Erichs, when I was growing up, were the thing. They were rock stars in Texas. And I love the Von Erichs. Kerry Von Erich, back here on my shelf, yeah, you probably can't see it as well. Oh, I'm sorry, it's in my case now. But in my case is a Kerry Von Erich figure that I got. Very well done, very detailed this Christmas. And if I'd never met him, I don't know if I'd ever gotten into the business, but meeting him one day was like, that's what I want to do. And I was a skinny kid. I was 6'1" and weighed 145 pounds when I graduated high school. I am now 6'4", 292. So the influence he had on me and my life and what I wanted to do kind of changed everything for me.
Well, you had mentioned the Von Erichs, and I was a big fan of Gino Hernandez and Chris Adams.
Yeah.
Now, Chris Adams mentored, famously Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
And trained to help mold him and give him his work. So who had trained you or helped you break in?
I started my training with Big Don Bass in Jericho, Arkansas when I first started. Hotter than hell in the middle of summer. And I'm talking about a tin building. There was no air in it. And what you train on is carpet on a concrete floor. There was no wrestling ring. Half my training was done with him. Then I had to move back home because I had 2 kids. And it's like, all right, you got to take care of your family because I don't believe in running off from your responsibilities. So we had to find a trainer closer to home to finish training up. And did that for about it. I trained for about a year and a half before I had my first match.
Well, besides Crossroads Wrestling, have you and Brody formed any other alliances with other wrestling companies or promotions or gone out to go for those belts as well?
Worked in 6 different companies so far in the 2 years we've been together. And we're about to go to Georgia, probably at the first of the year. We'll be in Georgia for another promotion. Canada, looks like we're trying to get our passports so we can get up to Canada. Sky's the limit for us. We're going and having fun as long as we can do it.
Well, that is very awesome. I'm definitely picking up some old school Legion of Doom vibes with the scariness or domination with your guys' tag team, where it's the reluctance of other opponents willing to face you. Do you have any memorable memories or experiences from people kind of chickening out or showing their skirts when they see you guys coming?
Oh, dude, it happens all the time. And what it really happens before when they try to book them, right? Hey, look, we want y'all to come in. Oh, cool. Who are we going to work? We want you to work against Savage Brotherhood. Like, I don't know if we can work with them or not. It's that kind of thing, right? We've had more tag teams not want to come into the companies that we work for just because we're a part of it. All right? Like, we've got a reputation. We've got a reputation. We've had guys get mad at us and like, well, y'all are just too mean. I'm like, and so I'm not a good guy.
Well, what you may not know, viewers, is that Big Daddy Storm not only is a podcaster, but he's also an accomplished author. Big Daddy, how do you balance your wrestling career with these other passions? Do you find that these different aspects of your life have influence on one another?
I love entertaining and I love creating. And I've always been that way. I mean, there was a show back when I was young called F Troop. And I remember my mother had bought me a little typewriter. I used to write scripts for F Troop in my mind, right? I had so many scripts written out of my house for that stupid little show. But I've always loved being creative. And it's one of those things where wrestling allows you to be super creative. Writing allows you to be creative. Acting, when I'm doing theater, allows you to be super creative. Music, its mind is always working. It's always working. As a matter of fact, my novel hopefully will be out by Christmas. And it's called Hell County, but it started because of two of my wrestling buddies. It all works together and all feeds together. I mean, if you're at least creative, you try to find different ways to stay creative. And it's all, to me, just one hand feeds the other.
Hey, Big Daddy Storm, what drives you to dominate the Crossroads wrestling scene?
Well, and I'll say this, it's not just Crossroads, it is everywhere we go. And what drives me is to be the best, because people say, like, there's tons of young guys who are in this business. I used to be young and I understand it. You think that the young guys think the older guys should step aside and let them be the stars. I was taught you don't give up your spot. Somebody has to take it. Not stepping aside for anybody. So we don't back up and go backwards for anybody. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be toe to toe. And so our goal is to keep freaking fighting for as long as we can until you pull my dead ass out of that damn ring.
Well, tell us, Big Daddy Storm, how the Savage Brotherhood came to be and what makes you and the outlaw Brody Hawk such a formidable team.
Well, we started as a tag in Bluff, and I've known Brody for 25 years. And him and his former partner is one of my best friends too. And we've known each other for a long time. We've only really tagged together 2 times, maybe 3 times in all those years. I went to Bluff City there because they're on CW30 in Memphis. And he asked me, said, hey, what do you think about because his other partner, his newer partner, had just quit on him. Didn't want to do it. He said, what do you think about being my tag partner? I said, absolutely. Let's go. Because me and him have kind of the same mindset. And from moment one, we knew, everybody better look out. And everybody else knew it too. Because we were going to smack you in the face. We're going to tell you we're going to smack you in the face. We were telling you we're going to cheat. And we're going to cheat. Your job is to stop us from cheating. I know of no other heels that tell you, yeah, I'm going to cheat. Heels lie, right? It's always been like, well, heels just lie. Not us. We're going to tell you we're assholes. We're going to show you that we are and defy you to stop it. We came out there that first show, and it was very evident that we are of the same mind. Like, we don't have to talk about what we're going to do. We don't have to go in there and say, all right, here, I'm doing this. Boom. It's just instinctive. We are tailor-made for each other. That's not to mention our manager, who's Big Lou Winston, who was part of the old Memphis Vice, who was a legend in Memphis. And I love that guy. And we know when we go out there, somebody's getting their ass whooped. It's not even a question. It's just not even a question. It's just like, how bad is the ass whooping going to be? That's the only thing that's ever in doubt.
Well, Big Daddy, I'm a big fan of you and Brody Hawk, the Savage Brotherhood. You guys have a real rough and tumble, in your face style, but you also are not shy about employing some underhanded tactics, which I see that as pure genius. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Exactly.
But how do you respond to somebody that will criticize these methods?
Well, it depends. If you're saying, Storm, Brody, y'all are cheaters. Why, yes, we are. Thank you for looking. Thank you for paying attention. Because we tell you we're going to cheat. We don't hide that. We don't hide any of it. Your job is to stop us. Mm-hmm. It's like the referees. It's like, the referee's like, yeah, well, I know you're cheating, but you didn't catch me doing it. Your job is to catch me doing it. And the promoters are like, y'all shouldn't be cheating. I'm like, your officials are supposed to catch us. Referee's decision is final, isn't it? So maybe train your officials better. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Brody's going to do what he's going to do. I have to cheat to win. We just enjoy it. Won't y'all see something? Right back there in that cabinet is a cabinet full of hardware. right?
Yeah.
That's what it's about for me and keeping it. That's what it's about. So when somebody says, hey, Storm, why do you do what you do? For that reason. Because I'm a champion and you're not.
Recently, you posted a video on Facebook.
Like, there's a lot of people, who absolutely hate us. Like, for shoot, they hate us, right? They don't know us. They just hate us. They hate us because of what we do. They hate us because of what we say, because of just who we are in general. Doesn't matter. Don't know us at all, but they hate us, right? Call it envy, jealousy, whatever. And they spend a lot of time thinking about us. And we spend no time thinking about them, any of them, because it doesn't matter. The rest of you guys, you kiss our ass and go straight to hell, because we're going to roll on, baby.
That was so inspirational to me.
Appreciate that.
It touched me at that moment. It's something I
Appreciate
needed to hear at that time. Do you have plans to continue with these inspirational promos?
Always. Always. You can go back on my timeline and they're full of them. Because when we're talking about haters, we have a lot of haters. Most of them are the boys in the back. Jealous. Jealousy is a big thing in wrestling. People can't beat us, so they talk about us. I don't care. I don't even think about you. I mean, I think about what's right in front of me. And like I said, young, I'll kiss my ass. I don't care. What are you going to do? You're not going to come and say nothing. You're certainly not going to come do anything about it. You're just going to keep living. I'm going to keep living so rent-free in your head, I might as well own you for the rest of your life.
I love that. I might even borrow that one. That's very
Anytime,
good.
buddy. Anytime.
Well, with your guys' rough and tumble style and your unique size advantage amongst the competition and things like that, but you have had some rivalries. Have you had any opponent that could match you guys or could give it right back to you? Who has been your toughest opponent so far?
Maybe when we first got started, it was probably the Top Shotters. Probably the Top Shotters in Memphis, in Bluff at the time. Really good tag team, young guys, but they're big, well-built, athletic, and they can bring it. They can bring it pretty good. They were probably I would say they were probably our toughest guys that we've been in the ring against. Now, we got a couple of young guys, too, generally too good, that are pretty good. Yeah, they're strong, well-built guys. Like I said, they're still young in the business, but they're not bad. They are not bad at all. So, our heavyweight champion right now,
Too legit, Justin Daniels.
His partner, Tommy Too Good, and him have a tag team everywhere else.
Okay.
They work. They've just created. Been doing it for a while, but they've really stepped up, and that's the main deal for them. But they're both really good. I mean, I give everybody credit who has earned it. I'm not gonna sit here and say everybody sucks but us. If you're willing to put in the work, I'll give you credit for it. Don't mean we're not gonna whoop your ass. I'm just saying that, hey, look, this team over here, watch out for them. And I think they're a team to watch out for. We beat up the team the night you were there, Dread and Solomon Hyde.
Speaking of Solomon Hyde, I've seen that you've had kind of a little bit of a rivalry with him and putting him through tables. I watched you put him through a table to win that tag team championship in the first place. And then, like you said, at that last match I went to, I saw you do it again to defend that tag team and secure it to keep it there around your waist. What is it about Hyde that makes him such a target? And can we expect some more of these fireworks between you two in the future?
Well, first of all, the answer to your last question is absolutely. Because there's a long list of receipts coming, right? Because he broke my ribs. April was a year ago. He broke my ribs. Never been to the doctor. I just let him heal. I rehab him because I'm a personal trainer, so I understand how the body works. It's what I do. But when I broke my ribs, the next day, I wasn't going to go. And then my girlfriend's like, because they were swollen. I mean, my chest was swollen. She's like, "You've got to go." And I was I don't want to go, but I had to. And sure enough, they were fractured. But during the match, they were fractured. I had to keep wrestling and finish the match. I mean, I don't believe in quitting. And you're not going to keep me down. I missed one show with the broken ribs and kept wrestling because that's how I do it. Well, since that night, I told him, I'm like, you got it coming. you've got it coming, because it was an unnecessary injury. And when you do something like that, the paybacks are long and they're sustained. And this is a learning experience. These ass whoopings are going to continue.
Right. You'd mentioned giving receipts and things like that. I have a question. If you have any message for any team that would be stupid enough to try to challenge you guys for those tag team titles, what would you say to them?
Well, normally my response would be, don't do it. But I got to tell you, at this point, I'm bored. Come do it, please. Just step up. I'm tired of hearing the talk, really, because so many people talk. We have an open door policy in Bluff City and in Crossroads. Open door policy is, if you think you're bad enough and you want to do it, come do it. Don't just sit here and talk about it behind closed doors. Come do it. That's all you got to do is just come in and do it. We'll work you. We will come to your place and work you. How about that? But you know what happens? Silence. They'll chirp, but there's always silence onto that.
My next question here was, I've been, getting on out there and researching the Savage Brotherhood and also the other opponents of the Savage Brotherhood or wannabe opponents, and I hear all this trash talk coming out of their damn mouth, saying that you guys are all talk, no action, blah 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 blah. What do you have to say to those people?
Doors open. Doors open. I hear you, and you're trying to make yourself relevant out here, but you ain't coming up here and saying it in my face. You certainly aren't coming to the shows and proving it. All you proving is you're a crybaby, and you go in your own little small pond, and a small fish in a small pond. We got a lot of those. Then that's what I say to them. I don't care a damn about you. You ain't nobody. You don't do anything. You just talk. You just talk.
The style of wrestling you guys do, you typically get a negative reaction from the crowd. They typically boo or jeer or say things to you. And unfortunately, the way the law works, it's not legal for you to turn around and slap the taste out of the kid that paid his ticket. But I'm sure you could. But how do you typically respond to the negative crowd reaction?
By beating up their heroes even more.
I love it.
That's how I do it. I will. I'm like, oh, you didn't like that? Oh, let me show you something. I grab them and I'll do the most underhanded thing I can do right in front of them and the ref. And I will go to them on and I will talk to them about the whole time I'm doing it. The whole time I'm doing it.
So, Big Daddy Storm, how do you and Outlaw Brody Hawk prepare for your matches? You got any special routine strategies or training routines that you guys go through?
No. At this stage of the game, we're prepared every day. Now, what I do, like for me personally, I work out every day because I know I'm the powerhouse, and I know what my role is, and I know what I want my role to be. It's a knockout artist. It's going to pummel you in submission, but Brody's a brawler, and when you spent your whole life as a brawler, you don't have to do a whole lot of preparing for it. He hits the gym, but not to be a body guy, just to be more strength related and to pack more punch into his punch. So we don't really prepare. Saturday nights, we're partying. If we're not wrestling, we got a show called After Dark. We're drinking all night long and partying. We're living the dream.
You probably already answered this question here, so I might phrase it here a little bit differently, because we can tell, because me and Bill both have eyes and brains, that the Savage Brotherhood is definitely different from all the other tag teams in Crossroads Wrestling. And you've made very clear your approach and whatnot, and that your preparations and what have you. So besides the unique look and the not so sophisticated but very effective style, is there any other kind of preparations you guys might do as far as like you mentioned the after party and things like that? You guys schedule relaxation time or anything like that? Or
well, we're going to Florida this week. We're going to Florida on vacation. Both of us are together. We're going out there. Just chill out this weekend, just to recoup. I mean, it's good to have a weekend here or a week off to yourself just to recharge everything and let's go. This is our little break time. But most of the time, I mean, we really don't. I mean, because when you're relaxed with who you are, when you're confident in who you are, you don't have to do a lot of that. And I spend my days working out, writing, editing, doing shows like this, having fun, enjoying life. And if you're able to enjoy your life and have a good time, there ain't a whole lot of things different you can do. I box on the side a little bit, because I love the challenge that I get from boxing. It's fun to me. I love doing a little martial arts here and there. I did Wing Chun Gung Fu when I was younger in Texas, from Dan and the Santos people Dan and Santos was taught by Bruce Lee. He was a Bruce Lee student. And so I love doing different things, finding different things that challenge me. And that's just how I operate. Brody, he'll be out drinking beer, probably going to a Waffle House some damn where. That's how he prepares. We're different when it comes to our preparation. But one thing we will do, and I will say this, he and I both love to study old school wrestling. So it's not unusual to find us on YouTube sometimes going on there and going, let's go back to the 80s. What did 81 have to offer? What gems can we find in there that I don't see anybody else doing? And we will do that.
What other championships or other promotions are you planning on going to besides Crossroads? Can you tell us some of the other organizations that you are now part of, and maybe some championships that you may be looking forward to adding to your collection, baby?
Yeah, like we're the AWA Tag Team Champions, have been for 8 months now, and we continually go there. American Hostile, we just started going to Missouri about 2 months ago. Their championships are on our radar. We've already beat up their main tag team champions, set one of them on fire. So get ready. American Hostile, those championships are coming. We got screwed out of our Bluff City championships. We're about to be the 3-time Bluff City Tag Team Champions. So we are going to Georgia. I'm excited about that. We're trying to head to South Mississippi maybe. They got some great teams down there that I would love to lock up with again. So there's some stuff on the horizon out there. We're trying to expand it and go wherever we can.
Well, you'd definitely dominating in the tag team division, and I can see that tag team wrestling is kind of your focus at the moment. But maybe in the future, are we going to see some singles competition, maybe a heavyweight title run?
If something happens to Brody, knock on wood, that would be the only way. I spent my whole career mainly doing singles. I've won a singles championship in every company I've ever worked for, and not many guys can say that. And I'm proud of those. I enjoy those, and I enjoy being the guy, right? But I'm having so much fun with my brother right now doing what we're doing that it's like I cannot see being a singles wrestler unless I'm absolutely forced into it. And the only way that happens is if he's no longer wrestling.
I haven't yet watched this, Big Daddy, and it may be something that Jones and I are going to have to show here and commentate on. But if I'm not mistaken, have you and Justin Daniels too legit? Have y'all clashed? Got in the ring together?
Oh yeah, yeah. It was him and his partner that beat us for the Bluff City Tag Team titles a couple months ago. So to answer your question, yes, me and Justin are well acquainted. And you go back even further in Bluff City, you see how many times I whooped his ass and threw him around. I like the beard chunk. Like looks like he's like a gnome, right? Like a little yard gnome. I will grab him by his damn beard, and I will chunk his ass all the way across that ring. You go back in Bluff City. It's happened a few times to him.
Daddy, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you here today on Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. And your insights into wrestling and Savage Brotherhood have been just incredible.
Well, thank you, guys.
Absolutely. And we can't wait to see what you and Outlaw Brody Hawk have in store for us next. Your journey, your dedication to the sport, the old school factor, I'm truly inspired. You've got me as a fan for life.
I appreciate it, guys. I do appreciate it. Glad y'all are actually on the right side of things, too, by the way.
Is there anything that you would like to say to the fans, your fans, and also our viewers here on our channel, our fans?
Yeah, you want to see greatness, you follow Big Daddy Storm, you follow Outlaw Brody Hawk. You can go to Big Daddy Storm fan page, check us out there, follow Crossroads Wrestling, Unified Wrestling Alliance. But you pay attention to the Savage Brotherhood is what you do. You want to see old school wrestling that you fell in love with or that you want to watch that's actual real wrestling, this is who you watch. Everybody else is just trash, and that's what you need to understand.
I enjoyed having you here today, Big Daddy Storm,
Appreciate it.
and And to you guys watching, if you like the content that you see here, you can click on one side of the screen and you can get something very similar to this. If you want to see what the channel is all about, you can click on the other side of the channel and subscribe. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures for more exciting interviews and toy adventures. Next time, keep on collecting and stay fantastic.